Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Hello, everyone, and apologies for my voice. I have a flu, so it's a bit scratchy. It's a real privilege for me to join you today, and I want to thank especially President Tola for inviting me to say a few opening remarks for this session. ICAP became a founding member of IFAC in 1977. And since then, you have been a crucial partner for the global accountancy profession. And for even longer, because your own founding goes back to 1961, the ICAP has served the public interest and the accountancy profession in Pakistan with distinction. So to start, I will briefly describe IFAC and why our relationship with ICAP is so important. IFAC, as you know, is the global organization of the accountancy profession. We represent more than 3 million professional accountants through our plus 180 member organizations across 135 jurisdictions. Our work falls under three major objectives. First, we represent and advocate for the profession as its global voice. Second, we help to equip the profession for the future through our members and the professionals they represent. And third, we support the development, adoption, and implementation of high-quality international standards. And IFAC has many strengths, but what IFAC aims to do is only possible with our members because they offer the resources and geographic reach to make local, regional, and global transformations happen. And I want to recognize the individual contributions of all ICAP members who have given volunteer service to IFAC, including Mr. Yaqub Sutar, my colleague at the IFAC board, Mr. Khalid Rahman, who has been nominated for the nominating committee of IFAC, Mr. Muhammad Samiullah Siddiqui, who serves at PAIB Advisory Group, and Mr. Muhammad Ali Latif, who serves at SMP Advisory Group. So thank you all, and to the ICAP for all you do to advance our profession and the public interest in Pakistan, and for your partnership and collaboration over many years as a member of IFAC. I have been asked today to speak about the timely theme of leadership for sustainability in crisis. And I will start with a high-level view of the situation, followed by a narrower focus on SMEs, small and medium enterprises. We have all seen the devastating impact of global warming across the world. And Pakistan specifically has suffered a terrible hardship with last year's flooding. And we now know that these events were made more extreme by global warming. Pakistan contributes less than 1% of global greenhouse gas emissions. But as a result of floods, approximately 5% of its population has been displaced. And the country is estimated to suffer losses of $40 billion and now faces a food security challenge. As the planet continues warming, extreme weather will continue, unfortunately, taking lives and livelihoods, destroying infrastructure, and disrupting agriculture with even greater intensity. Through these and other effects, climate change is exacerbating many global crises, including food insecurity and poverty. And it is only through partnership and collaboration in the form of global climate action that we can prevent together the worst outcomes. There has been some recent progress. COP26 led to significant pledges for climate change mitigation, including emissions reduction and forest protection. And it placed greater emphasis than past agreements on adaptation. COP27 went a step further with the first ever pledges for loss and damages compensation. But until they are implemented, commitments are only words. In the meantime, we continue to approach the 1.5 degrees Celsius warming threshold at a very speedy pace. The accountancy profession needs to lead the world from commitments to implementation. And this is exactly the meaning of leadership for sustainability in crisis. Specific plans need to be made to cover every step of the process. And these plans need to have clear measures and targets that should be reported on regularly and transparently with independent verification. And this must happen through society, in government, as well as private organizations. So some of you might be wondering why professional accountants would have a leadership role in this. Well, let me tell you that there are very good reasons to think that we professional accountants have a major role to play in this and to save the world. And I shall raise just a few of these reasons. 1, accountants are at the center of information flows and decision-making. And so we are uniquely positioned to capture, analyze, report on, and assure sustainability information. 2, we have skills and competencies that are critical for connecting financial and sustainability information, including our grasp of business models, risk management, systems and processes, and performance measurement. 3, we have global reach like no other profession, which puts us at the center of the action. Global capital markets, global clients, and global supply chains all call for the skills, expertise, and ethical integrity of professional accountants. 4, we provide high-quality audit and other assurance services, which are in demand because they enhance credibility and trust in disclosures, including sustainability disclosures. 5, and finally, we have our public interest mandate. As a regulated profession, we are subject to an ethical code and public oversight. And we are charged with acting in the public interest with professional judgment, skepticism, and most important of all, independence. So there is no question that our profession is essential to climate action. There will be more to learn, new competencies to acquire, and new roles to fill as sustainability factors increasingly guide the decisions of the companies we work for or the clients we serve. But we are and will remain the right people for the job. Of course, we are not the only stakeholders in climate action and sustainable development. For years, demand has been growing from all stakeholders, including regulators, investors, and society, for sustainability information. And the establishment in November 21 of the ISSB, International Sustainability Standards Board, was an important step forward towards meeting that demand while advancing a comprehensive global baseline for sustainability disclosures. But for the ISSB's standards to have a global reach, jurisdiction level adoption and implementation are going to be key. And no one is in a better position than professional accounting organizations, which we call PAOs, to engage and advocate with the relevant stakeholders to keep up the momentum and ensure that global standards become local. Professional accounting organizations also have an enormous opportunity and responsibility to equip their members with the skills and competencies for sustainability services. And on this point, PAOs can harness partnerships with universities and other educational institutions. They should engage with them regularly and consistently to define sustainability competency requirements and update the curriculum and learning resources. At the macro level, global markets, investors, governments, and regulators will continue to deliberate, and public opinion will continue to evolve. But sustainability starts with businesses and in businesses. And only when sustainability issues are addressed on a micro level that sustainability will be possible on a macro level. And the mandate for all organizations is simple. We cannot ignore sustainability. It is not enough to continue with a few sustainability initiatives. We need far-reaching and urgent action to adequately respond to the severity and the threat posed by climate change. And this means both mitigating greenhouse gas emissions and, very importantly, adapting to the physical risks that climate change already poses in countries like Pakistan and other countries in the world. So this brings us to small and medium enterprises, or what we call SMEs. SMEs, as we all know, are the backbone of the global economy. They account for about 90% of all businesses and half of all employment and GDP. In emerging markets, 7 out of 10 new jobs in the formal economy come from SMEs. Pakistan is no exception to the trend, with 5 million SMEs contributing 40% of Pakistan's GDP. And none of this is meant to downplay the role of SMEs in more developed countries, because every company, including the world's largest, depends on SMEs as suppliers or customers at nearly every link in today's global supply chains. So having understood the importance of SMEs, we need to look at the implications for sustainability. And I will focus briefly on 2 points. First, we must recognize that the carbon footprint of SMEs is extremely large. According to the OECD, 60 to 70% of industrial greenhouse gas emissions come from SMEs. The implications are profound for emissions mitigation strategies around the world. All stakeholders need to incorporate SMEs into the heart of their plans for a greener future. And the second point is that SMEs should benefit greatly from sustainability initiatives. Relevant, timely, comparable, and accurate sustainability information allows SMEs to think holistically about their strategies and business models. The accountancy profession has a very important role to play here. SMEs may lack the resources they need to handle many of the tasks necessary in today's complex business environment, including new and unfamiliar work on sustainability matters. And these tasks are bound to become more complicated as sustainability reporting becomes the norm around the world. So SMEs will continue to look outside their firms for support, and our profession must be ready to apply our technical skills and give business advice. I mentioned earlier that regulators are, like all stakeholders, demanding sustainability information. And I want to emphasize that this is a global issue. Regulatory requirements in the European Union, for example, and elsewhere, will have ripple effects around the world as firms in those jurisdictions examine the climate risk in their supply chains. So SMEs all over the world, including Pakistan, where ICAP members work, will have to think beyond their borders. In short, SMEs simply cannot afford to ignore sustainability, and sustainability efforts cannot afford to ignore SMEs. In conclusion, I will leave you with two thoughts. One, our leadership as a profession is necessary, but we are not in this alone. We need to work closely together across the global profession and among our stakeholders and partners to ensure everyone in the ecosystem is a partner in advancing common solutions. Two, education in sustainability is also very critical. We all need to upskill and reskill ourselves on this new and unfamiliar topic, which is sustainability. Otherwise, we will be outdated and we will not be able to play our leadership role in this area. So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure to join you today. I congratulate ICAP for organizing this convention and my best wishes to all for health and safety. And thank you.